Favor Accessible, graduate of economics and postgraduate, that's the MSc graduate of development economics, all from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
How did you hear about Geek Africa?
Okay, I learned of Youth Africa from the president himself, who happened to be my leader, my mentor, my brother, long before now. So when he shared this vision with me, I was so excited about it because I realized I was a global vision and it was definitely going to stand the test of time. So I bought into it immediately and I registered with the platform. And honestly, it has been a wonderful experience because via this platform, I have learned what I didn't even learn in university, honestly. I'm really, really grateful and I'm happy to be a part of this project and initiative.
Young ones out there.
They have to plug into this opportunity. Honestly, we are canvassing, we are creating awareness as much as possible on social media, and we ensure that as many people that come across this program, they should key into it. So we are telling as many youth as possible to come and be a part of this because the trainings we've undergone this period, we didn't pay for it. And these are trainings that you actually spend a whole lot of money, especially in the oil and gas. You spend a whole lot of fortune to acquire this training. So every young one out there with engineering background who have dreams, Favor Accessible, graduate of economics and postgraduate, that's an MSc graduate of development economics, all from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
How did you hear about Geek Africa?
Okay, I learned of Youth Africa from the president himself, who happened to be my leader, my mentor, my brother, long before now. So when he shared this vision with me, I was so excited about it because I realized I was a global vision and it was definitely going to stand the test of time. So I bought into it immediately and I registered with the platform. And honestly, it has been a wonderful experience because via this platform, I have learned what I didn't even learn in university, honestly. I'm really, really grateful and I'm happy to be a part of this project and initiative.
Young ones out there.
They have to plug into this opportunity. Honestly, we are canvassing, we are creating awareness as much as possible on social media, and we ensure that as many people that come across this program, they should key into it. So we are telling as many youth as possible to come and be a part of this because the trainings we've undergone this period, we didn't pay for it. And these are trainings that you actually spend a whole lot of money, especially in the oil and gas. You spend a whole lot of fortune to acquire this training. So every young one out there with engineering background who have dreams of becoming an entrepreneur should come and key into this Youth Africa platform because you never know how far they will take you. Do you know that these trainings we've acquired, we're not just acquiring the training, they are even making plans as far as getting us employment. They are talking with organizations and we're not paying for any of this. Honestly, every youth out there, if you hear of the name Youth Africa, please subscribe from wherever you are. You don't have to be present alone to be a part of what is going on. From wherever you are, you can actually participate virtually. You can decide to come to where the program is happening physically. So what I'm trying to say in summary is from wherever you are, please key into this platform. It's a beautiful opportunity and experience you'll be glad you're part of. Yes.
My name is Esosa Aresano Gloria.
And your academic background?
I'm a linguistics and communication student from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
So where are you and what brought you here?
Okay, I'm currently in Oyo Training Facility. I was brought here by Geek Africa for a training that has been very impactful. That's why I'm here.
And so how's your experience been?
Amazing, very beautiful. It's a very wonderful opportunity Geek Africa has given to us, young engineers and inspiring engineers. It's amazing. Words cannot express how much I feel right now. I am really, really overjoyed. I'm amazed. I'm perplexed. Let me put it that way.
So take us through the journey from when you heard and how you heard about Youth Africa
Okay.
and up to now where you find.
Okay. I've been a member of Youth Africa for like some months now, and they do an annual training for their young members, and this was a platform I was opportune to be a part of. I started as just a member, initiated into the process of being a young engineer by doing all the trainings that they're doing right now. It has been a wonderful platform. I started without knowing anything about HSC, without knowing anything about rigging and sligging, without knowing anything about Rustabout. But due to the training, I have been informed, exposed, and lightly educated about these processes. And I'm very informed right now. I think by now I am a certified HSC officer, I'm a certified Rastabouter, and I'm a certified rigger and sligger.
So what's your advice to young people out there?
If you are an engineer and you're not here, you're missing out. You should be a part of YIC Africa. In fact, it is the mothership right now. The platform Mr. Kingston and the entire YIC Africa crew has been giving to young engineers, it's amazing. I think the government even should adopt this pattern. It's a very beautiful platform that every individual should be a part of.
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, YIC Africa. Thank you, Oya Train. I'm very grateful.
They actually gave us courses, important courses or salient courses that are well sought for in the industry, a lot of experiences from very good courses.
So, what's your advice to young ones out there?
Well, young ones out there, I'd advise them, especially people who want to work in the oil and gas industry, they should just link up to YIC Africa because it is a very good opportunity for them. And also, they should be positive and they should keep on looking for opportunities like this. They should keep sticking out for opportunities like this that will help them and enhance their skills in the future.
My name is Alfred Baratwaikre from Bayelsa State, a graduate from Niger Delta University. I study agricultural and environmental engineering.
How did you hear about YIC Africa?
I heard about YIC Africa from my social media platform, Facebook to be precise, and I followed up immediately.
So what has been your experience so far?
My experience has been good. I've got to learn a lot about the oil and gas industry. I got to acquire about some new skills that I've never heard before, about some new courses that are very interesting.
Okay, so what's the advice to the young ones out there?
My advice to the young ones out there is that they should grab this opportunity. It's a rare one.
My name is Anyogo Douglas Omar. I'm a geophysicist and I'm from Cross River State and I'm a member of YIC Africa.
How did you hear about YIC Africa?
Oh, I heard about YIC Africa from a friend of mine. She actually pitched the idea to me and I studied about it online and I saw what they were doing. It was a wonderful idea and I keyed into it.
So how has your experience been so far?
Well, my experience so far has been wonderful in the sense that I've actually learned a lot of courses relating to the oil and gas industry. And as a matter of fact, before this program, I didn't really have much interest in the industry. But coming for the program, I'm now interested in working in the industry and I've gotten the opportunity to meet some nice people too. So it's been a wonderful experience so far.
So what's your advice to young ones out there?
Okay, so I believe that to get paid, you have to offer a service. And how do you offer a service? Is by rendering a skill. So in today's world, you need skill sets. And if you want to acquire a skill, come to YIC Africa. There's no better place to be in. Thank you.
I am Rufus Ahibi Ojamia. I am from Edo State. I attended the University of Port Harcourt. I read mechanical engineering.
Okay, how did you find out about YIC Africa?
I got the information from a WhatsApp platform where a friend posted it, and I went online, read about them, and I discovered all they do, and it was appealing to me, and that was how I picked interest and I joined.
So how has your experience been so far?
It has been so wonderful. It has been very wonderful because we've learned so many things around here. There are some things, in fact, it changed my orientation about the oil and gas sector. Everything we thought would have been possible before just became possible through YIC Africa. So it has been so wonderful. It's so nice.
Okay, my name is Onyebuchi Onwebule. I'm from Imo State, a graduate of chemical engineering from Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and I'm also a trainee in the ongoing YIC Africa Oil and Gas Training Program.
How did you hear about YIC Africa?
Okay, I heard about YIC Africa on social media, Facebook precisely.
How has been your experience so far?
The experience has been awesome. It's been a wonderful experience. From the organizers to the trainers, they've greatly impacted on us and acquired a whole lot of skills, from rigging and slinging, roastabout, and so many other courses.
So what's your advice to young ones out there?
My advice to young ones out there is if you've been thinking of how to acquire skills in the oil and gas sector and other sectors, come to YIC Africa. You'll be trained.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please tell us about yourself.
Okay. My name is Amadi Victor Chimene. I'm from River State, a petroleum and gas engineer from University of Port Harcourt.
Okay, so how did you hear about YIC Africa?
I was being referred to YIC Africa by my mentor. He told me about the platform, and I was able to get access to them.
Okay, how's your experience been so far?
Well, my experience so far has been really great. The journey has been really wonderful. I've been able to get lots of experience. I've been able to learn so many things from YIC Africa. And it has been really, really a great journey, I must say.
So what's your advice to young ones out there?
I would advise those young ones out there, they should try to locate to YIC Africa, to try to come across this platform. This is a wonderful platform. You get to have so many knowledge, experiences, both industrial and non-industrial experiences, and it's really a nice one. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Ms. Inebasi Titus. I'm actually a HND holder in accountancy department, but I had a science background in my secondary school. I did all sciences and I passed them with alphas and with credit at credit levels. But fate had me to do accounting. Engineering course is one of the programs I actually watched to do for a very long time. So when I had the opportunity this time around, I had to enroll in YIC Africa as one of the young engineers, and I came in for the training.
How did you hear about YIC Africa?
Well, because of the yearnings I had in engineering courses, I actually met a friend of mine that told me about YIC Africa, that they were online, gave me the mail address, and I had to go online to search for it. When I saw it, I had to register, and I started attending the lectures. Since I attended the lecture, it's really been awesome. Really been awesome, I must say.
So what's your advice to young ones out there?
Well, especially for the engineers, if you have done any of the engineering courses, though YIC Africa is not really limited to people that have engineering background. If you have interest, if you are vested in an engineering line, YIC Africa is a place to be. So if not enrolled, please go out there and browse yicafrica.com and you'll be able to enroll. Right here in Ultron. Ultron is located somewhere here in East West Road, where the training is really done. That's where we did the training. But Ultron, YIC Africa has a facility in Uniport that they are kickstarting. So any of those areas, you can actually avail yourself the opportunities and join YIC Africa.
My name is Bob Osmond from Akwa Ibom State, HND holder, Petroleum and Natural Gas Processing Engineering at Petroleum Training Institute, Delta State.
How did you hear about YIC Africa?
YIC Africa was sent to me by my boss and said that anything I need about a petroleum industry, that YIC Africa will let me know, starting from the beginning, and anything at all I need in the oil and gas industry, and they will let me know.
So how has the experience been so far?
I had enough experience. Some of the things that I did not learn in my school, I learned it here, something like NDT.
I'm Shigozi Anthony Arazo. I studied chemical engineering at Nazareth University, Oka. Okay, how did you hear about YIC Africa?
Okay, that was when I was done with school. So I was actually trying to bridge the gap between my theories I got from school and the experience. So I started browsing about and I saw YIC Africa
on social media. So I went to the website and I browsed through. So I saw a lot of trainings like rigging and slinging, roundabout and rig helper, and those things were amazing. So I registered. So now I'm here, and I'm done. I'm done with some courses like rigging and slinging, roundabout and rig helper. Now I can comfortably do some load calculations and what have you. So I'm actually very, very satisfied.
So how has been the experience so far?
Very beautiful. We had some hands-on experiences and we actually taught well. So this is actually oil training facility, and YIC Africa has been so amazing.
So what's your advice for young people out there?
Okay, so young people out there, the young professionals, my colleagues that studied engineering, this is actually a big opportunity. I beg of you, I actually advise you people to come to go to the website, just www.yicafrica.com. Go just type YIC Africa, it will come up. Go there, register. The registration is so clearly stated and it's so cheap. And what you are gaining here is absolutely free. And they are going to bridge your gap between theories and the experience, and you'll be relevant in the field. Thank you so much.
My expectations from these trainings is that we would have better trained people, youths who have been empowered to be able to use their skills and their abilities to better their lives and to better our nation.
Young Engineers Entrepreneurship Club, YIC Africa, River State University Oil and Gas Training Center. Today is an epoch-making event, and we are superlatively excited about it.
To apply for YEEC Africa professional trainings, log on to www.yicafrica.com, then click on Programs. You can register for either ICT and surveillance, oil and gas, electrical and mechanical engineering, professional photography and cinematography, Creative Hub, seed capital for entrepreneurs, or scholarships for undergraduates and postgraduates. For example, to register for oil and gas training, click on Oil and Gas Training. Take a while to read through the different courses to make your choice. Please note that some of the oil and gas training courses are online while others are hands-on. When done, scroll down to Download Form. After downloading form, kindly fill it, scan it and send it back to us at programs@yicafrica.com to register for professional photography and cinematography training. Click on Professional Photography and Cinematography Training, then scroll down to Download Form. After downloading form, kindly fill it, scan it and send it back to us at programs@yicafrica.com to register for ICT and surveillance training. Click only on ICT and surveillance training, then scroll down to download form. After downloading form, kindly fill it, scan it and send it back to us at programs@yicafrica.com. For comprehensive details on each of the ICT courses, kindly scroll up to read more about them. Follow the same procedure to apply for electrical and mechanical engineering, Creative Hub, seed capital and scholarship. We hope this video was helpful.
The problem of unemployment gives rise to the problem of poverty. Young people, after a long time of unemployment, find the wrong way to earn money. To get a hideout from the unemployment stress, they accept alcohol or drugs. But we have found a way to help you, yes, you, to get a job, internship, or become self-employed. Hi, my name is Irene. Do you want a place where your innovative ideas and inventions will be amplified and showcased to the world to attract investors and linkages? Are you interested in building a career in the oil and gas industry? Do you have desire to learn cinematography and photography at no cost? Do you want financial aid or seed capital for entrepreneurial development? Or are you interested in ICT software development and surveillance training? Well, Yeek Africa is the biggest and newest platform to help you achieve your dreams. As Yeek Africa, we will hold your hands through the process by offering you the needed mentorships, trainings, fundings, and linkages. All Yeek Africa programs are free for her members. So, hurry now, register, and become a member of Yeek Africa. How do you register? Simply log on www.yeekafrica.com/membership to choose your preferred membership category. When done, a unique membership code will be sent to you. Use your membership code to apply at www.yeekafrica.com/programs. Download the form, fill it, scan it, and send it back to us at programs@yeekafrica.com. To get all our announcements and updates, join our Telegram group for direct conversations at t.me/Yeek Telegram. Being a part of Yeek Africa and getting our free trainings will be one of the best decisions you ever made. Your future self will thank you.
Anyone that is there. Okay. It's really. Wait, how come I can't see myself? Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Africa. I want to use this opportunity to welcome each and every one of us to this very all-important event, very timely, which is the YIC Africa Business Development Conference, titled Boundless Opportunities in the New Normal. Yes, we know that we are in the new normal. The current pandemic has changed the economic demography of the whole world. And so it's imperative that Nigerians and indeed Africans would need to rightly position themselves to know exactly how to thrive and succeed even in the midst of the pandemic. It means there is a new normal. The knowledge of the new normal and how to navigate through it would indeed help every entrepreneur out there to be able to succeed, stay afloat, and indeed excel in their various areas of endeavor. And so that's why this Business Development Conference has been carefully put together by the Young Engineers Entrepreneurship Club Africa to help you grow your business and also increase your own net worth. We are privileged to have men of great standing, tall standing in their chosen area of endeavors, who will be taking these topics on various topical areas to see how they can be of help, providing mentorship and concrete teaching that will really be of great advantage to you. And of course, this is coming to you at absolutely no cost. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to invite the president of the Young Engineers Entrepreneurship Club, Engineer Kingston Sylvanus, who would be taking us on why exactly we're here, as well as formally welcome us to this very important event. Welcome, Engineer Kingston Sylvanus.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, our great speaker, one of our mentors, Dr. Siva Charles, President, Garden City Business School. Good afternoon, Nigerians and Africans who are point time after their own very tight schedule to attend this very serious business development conference. We are Young Engineers Entrepreneurship Africa. You are aware, Entrepreneurship is the bane of prosperity of any nation. So I feel that it's important from time to time you organize such an event like this to contribute to your business group. Human capital, manpower development, as well as economic prosperity of Africa is one of our strategic objectives of this event. We believe that if you want to do business and succeed in business, you must know the nitty-gritty of how to buy that business. Unfortunately, a lot number of persons don't know how to go about it. A lot of persons don't have access to information that will put them in the prime place in business, which inadvertently the economy of Africa, take people off the streets. So we feel that we can talk to men and women who are experienced, have wealth of wisdom, and they are choosing careers in life to say, oh, share with us what has made you to attain this level in life, especially in business. So today, the first day of the conference of Africa 2020. Fortunately, we have one of our guests, own father and brother, very senior mentor of Africa, Charles Oppong. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let me, on behalf of my very self, the entire team, the leadership of Africa, the Fellowship Council of Africa, the Board of Trustees of Africa, invite you for this wonderful event. And I use this very great privilege to also let you out there know that we are doing a lot as non-profits, non-governmental organizations. We believe that the contribution we had in your values to what we're doing, our cause to contribute our own quota to build a better Africa, all of us. So let me, without wasting much of your time, welcome you for this event. The team, endless opportunities, we have arrays of speakers. It's going to be an eventful event every day. All our speakers are men of tall standing in their career, and men that have international recognition. So they are men of knowledge, men of wisdom. It's going to be an impacting conference. Welcome once again. Thank you, Dr. Charles, for the time, for being able to put your documents together, all the nights and all of that, just to ensure that this event is success. Let me, on behalf of myself, the leadership of Africa, once again, thank you and welcome you for this program. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much, Engineer Kingston Sylvanus, for that speech. And so while we await getting into the real deal, it's important that I inform you that this program is streaming live on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, if you have the Facebook app, you just type YEEC Africa, and this program is streaming live right there. And of course, on YouTube, go to YouTube and type YEEC Africa. It's as simple as that. Use the comment sections, those on WhatsApp, those on YouTube, those on Facebook. Use the comment section, drop your questions there, and the resource person will pick it up and get your questions all answered. Without further ado, permit me to introduce Dr. Silva Opala Charles, who is the president of Garden City Premier Business School. Dr. Silva Opala Charles is the president and chairman, Governing Council of Garden City Premier Business School. Dr. Charles is a broadly skilled individual with 32 years of multi-industry experience, spanned as follows: 19 years of experience in the banking industry, over 5 years in the public service as a commissioner of finance and budget and economy, Bayelsa State, and over 13 years in the private business development, with subsidiaries focused on paint manufacturing, real estate, oil and gas, strategy, and consulting. This is just to say but a little about Dr. Opoala Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Dr. Silva Opoala Charles, who will be taking us on the topic, unlocking growth and job opportunities through corporate entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Silva Opoala Charles.
All right, thank you very much. YEC Africa, thank you for bringing me on board on this your business development conference, day one. All right, so we can go now. So my topic is unlocking growth and job opportunities through corporate entrepreneurship. Corporate entrepreneurship, we're going to look at it. It's a very important area. So we're going to look at it in detail. This is my agenda. We will look at corporate entrepreneurship or strategic innovation. Understanding corporate entrepreneurship or strategic innovation, we have to understand the concept, then the need for strategic innovation in established companies or established businesses, the logic of strategic experimentation in strategic organization. We talk about globally and how we've been able to create jobs and opportunities. All right, so let's start with the crux of the problem. The researcher will tell you that that is a statement of the problem. One Japanese swordsman and a philosopher, he said, perception is strong and sight weak. His name is Miyamoto Musashi. He said, perception is strong and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distant view of close things. That's what he said. Now, the problem statement here is that your competitors are constantly getting better at seeing big opportunities, and the pace is accelerating. We are actually talking to businessmen, who have established business and those who are interested in setting up businesses, that the field is tough, but you have to think out of the box. You have been investing in innovation, but results are seem pretty incremental. Results should be radical. From what we are seeing with what is happening with the tech industry, Apple, Samsung, talk about Microsoft, you discover that there's a radical revolution in what is happening. So you can't deal with incremental results right now. There's a lot of innovation activity. Everybody claims to be involved in innovation, but it seems to be disconnected. So you need to have an innovation system in your organization. So what we are saying is that you are in business, you are having a lot of competitors who are going places. How do you also step up your game? All right, so let's understand what it is now. Strategic innovation or corporate entrepreneurship. I think I will, in this presentation, use these terms interchangeably because corporate entrepreneurship and strategic innovation are, the same thing. They represent the same thing. And what it is the creation of new growth businesses inside established organizations. How you establish startups, how established businesses go beyond their core business to establish new businesses. That's what we are talking about, corporate entrepreneurship, which is exactly what strategic innovation does. So that is basically the idea we're talking about. And so we are saying, how do you create new growth opportunities inside your established business that will create jobs and growth for your business, for your core business? So you have Dangote. Dangote wants to start new businesses. probably is investing in new ventures. So you can see Dangote started with cement. He has gone to oil and gas. He's going into rice, farming, all that kind of new business that you are setting up is what we call new growth businesses inside established organizations. So you can see from this transformation through strategic innovation. And I told you I'm going to use these terms interchangeably: corporate entrepreneurship and strategic innovation. If you look at the fishes here, you have seen some fishes here, you discover that all of them are going towards one direction. But one is going another direction. That one that is going the other direction is what we call startup, inside established businesses. A business that the startup that is doing one major business, coming up with new ideas, and that's the green we're saying there, a new group business. So this is transformation through strategic innovation or corporate entrepreneurship. So what is innovation? Because we have mentioned innovation. Innovation is creativity plus delivery. Innovation is about thinking out of the box, creating something new. So strategic innovation is not just a startup. When you have a new business just starts and want to come up with new ideas, complete new ideas, either to disrupt the industry and come with new ideas, you can talk about as startups. But when you talk about an existing business or an existing company, come up with ideas for creativity, it is what you call strategic innovation. But innovation itself is creativity plus delivery. If you are creative, you create new business without taking to the market, it's not innovation. Innovation must involve delivery of the goods and services that you have created. It must get to the hands of the consumers. Otherwise, it's not an innovation. Innovation must bring revenue. It must bring growth. Otherwise, it's not innovation. So what is strategic innovation? Let's look at it in a more diverse way. Number one, new business models. So we are talking about creating new business model. What is a business model? We are talking about creating value for yourself and for your customers. So business model is about creating value for yourself and for your customers by providing goods and services. That is business model. So there are three aspects of strategic innovation. Number one is new business model. That's completely new business model. New things that you're just bringing. So let's look at something like, men's health, something like Viagra. Viagra is something that just came up. There was nothing in that area until Viagra came up. At that scale, it's a market, a very big market. So it is a new business model. Okay, then new markets, either by creating new ones or reshaping existing ones. So you look at something like the market for finance, microfinance, and Mohamed Yunus redefined that market from Bangladesh. So we reshaped that market. It was already existing, but it was reshaped. So you talk about creating new ones or reshaping existing ones. So you reshape the market for microfinance. The next is that you have increased value for both the customer and the company. So we call it value innovation. The customers are getting more value for the product you are delivering to them. It may be cheaper, but the value doesn't change. That's what we call value innovation, increased value. So these are the three components of strategic innovation. You can also say that is corporate entrepreneurship because I use them interchangeably. All right, so these are the three we have mentioned. The first one, you see there's new markets, then new business models or increased value, which is value innovation I just mentioned. So let me just go back and just look at the concepts in a more, coordinated manner for everybody to understand. Let's for a recap before we move on. So strategic innovation is a company or a firm's initiative of reinventing or redesigning its corporate strategy. Corporate strategy is a bed view strategy at the board level. Okay, so you are looking at redesigning your strategy, corporate strategy, to drive growth, business growth, to generate more value for the company, and and its customers. So it's very important to understand that you are creating value for the company and for the customer. It cannot be for the customers alone. It has to be for the company and its customers. And that's way you create competitive advantage. That means that the profit you make is above the average profit of that industry. That's competitive advantage for you. Okay? So this type of innovation is essential for organizations to adapt to the speed of technology change. That means you must be in tune with what is happening in the market. Technology is changing. If you are not changing with this changing technology, you'll be left behind. And that's where you'll be disrupted, like Kodak. I can't see Kodak again in the market because they were disrupted. They couldn't keep the pace with the technological change. Now, firms that are pursuing, established businesses that are pursuing strategic innovation or corporate entrepreneurship do not necessarily need to make changes to the goods and services they sell to their customer, nor to the technology that support this product to be successful. Now, we must understand that strategic innovation is a cultural revolution that will happen at the level of execution. So everybody needs to get a new mindset, outside-in mindset, a new mindset of possibility, of dramatic growth of your business beyond your core business. That is strategic innovation. Now, we must understand that strategic innovation or corporate entrepreneurship is something top down and bottom up. But at the same time, it's something that has to be driven from the top. So the management and that they need to understand, they need to have the experience, they need to have the commitment to enforce it. Okay. Entrepreneurship is a little bit extended because entrepreneurship is the ability to act on the opportunity, and that's on top of delivery, that innovation revenue, create value for the business and value for customer. That is where entrepreneurship comes to play. So that's why we're talking about corporate entrepreneur. The reason why entrepreneurship inside corporations, and that is what we're talking about here. You must act on the opportunity that the market is bringing through innovations. Causes markets to evolve in a characteristic pattern. And what happens is that when innovation comes, you have a period where we technologies, organizational capabilities that give them abnormal profit. You know what is happening in the tech industry now with Apple? Apple alone is bigger than African economy. And you are talking about only one company GDP is close to the African continent GDP. Why did they make those kind of results? It's because of superior technology. Dating their technology. Why are they doing that? They want to keep pace with their results. They want to keep pace with technology so that they can have that. Now, there are innovation drivers. I have mentioned business model as creating value for your business and value for your customers through why am I buying your product? Value proposition is the benefits that you give to your customers. So when to buy Apple phone is because you think you get more value from it because of the aesthetics in terms of ability and everything that it contains are called value propositions. Now, value networks is how you sell it. How do you get things they can get it? You know, you also have maybe you have also have the app stores, physical one. Networks. So that is value networks. And then finally, you have the target customer. Who do you sell it to? So you must have to define whether these products are going to you are an established business and you want to go into a new business. You think that the business makes sense. These are things you must understand in terms of business model change drivers. Is you look at things like oil and gas, extractive industries, fuel, they are process technology because they are being refined. You know, so those are for softwares, for instance. So you have people who are producing game stores, you know. So you need technology from another company. We have incremental innovation, semi-radical innovation, and radical innovation. So this is innovation strategy planning matrix. This matrix, you discover that you have the business model drivers and technology drivers. So the first three, value proposition, value chain, so you can see that incremental is what I mentioned earlier. People are experiencing incremental. Incremental is very small changes. Metrical progression in their business. You are making incremental. You can't keep pace with growth. You'll be out of business very soon. So semi-radical business model is significant. The way you deliver your products have changed. Your target customers have changed significantly because you have brought more people into that business. That's a semi-radical. This technology you are using. You're enabling technology that is significant. Semi-radical technology driven. Then you have radical. That means there is a okay. Now there are innovation strategies. In our business, become a corporate entrepreneur. Okay, so innovation strategy must align with the business strategy. Business strategy is at the middle. You have go to the market strategy, corporate strategy, business. Before go to the market level. Now there is one called play not to lose. Now you are playing not to lose is incremental innovation. You want to just remain where you are. You want to control your market that you are controlling now. You want to be able to stop your margin, your profits. Strategy, innovation strategy. We mentioned the last one, the matrix we took a look at is semi-radical and business you are. Even if you're a new entrant to that business, you want to maintain market leadership, is called play to win. Okay? Like Apple, Alibaba, Amazon, the type of strategy they are using, they want to be market leader, they want to maintain that superiority in that market. PTF, it means you don't have an innovation strategy. If you don't fall within this major two strategy, that means you are play to fail strategy. Incremental banks, for instance, incremental, because they almost did the same thing. Utilities, cellular, wireless, Glo, MTN, they've all played. Enabling them to do what they are doing, you know. ISO 9000, oligopolies, government-owned organizations, all are incremental. They are just computer. Southwest Airlines, you know, those are no frills airline. That means you enter the airline, you can fly long distance. No, you don't have to watch a movie. Technology is like mobile phones, automobiles. So you can Tesla, for instance, what Tesla is doing. You can see the type of breakthrough that Tesla is doing, that companies like GM, radical. You can see I mentioned Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook. You know, these are very radical. If Bitcoin, for instance, or you don't explore new business model, you will go extinct. What means your business will disappear. You must have to use new business model. You will go extinct. McKinsey and Co. Now, why do we need corporate entrepreneurship? Corporate entrepreneurship for established businesses. Now, big companies are faced with corporate failures. A lot of big companies are to stop losses, cannot find themselves shrinking their way to success. Why do they need to do that? Why do they need to do corporate entrepreneurship? To be in corporate entrepreneurship. Number two, they've also discovered that they cannot grow astronomically, geometrically, by to become very successful, or taking over their rivals, acquisitions. Sometimes you go and acquire a company, and then that is the reason why sometimes they move to developing countries. Oh, developing countries, there are a lot of opportunities in developing countries. They've also discovered that that is not the solution. That's why they are doing quickly changing and aging product portfolios. Talk about Kodak, I mentioned that. Look at Nokia phone, those days, all of us are using Nokia phone. That's a very, very popular phone. So they didn't foresee the future that they to quickly innovate. So maturing technologies, if you don't was disrupted in the market. By 1976, Kodak accounted for 90% of films. I mean, I can say they are the market leader down there. 90% of films and 85% of camera sales in America in 1976. But in 1990, until the 1990s, it was regularly rated as one of the world's 5 most valuable brands. What a name, what a reputation for over 2 decades. But what happened? You can see the decline of the film. Film declined. So you can see the first one, you can see that the red represent what? Analog cameras started going down. 2009, in $50 million in 1995, dropped to almost zero in 2009. Nobody's buying analog cameras anymore. Digital cameras rose from 1997 and moved to over $25 million sales by 2009. So you can see the new technology came and knocked off analog cameras. So that's the fall of Kodak. Look at film rolls. The film roll business was about $800 million in 1995 and dropped to almost zero, 100 million. By what? 2009. So that's the decline of Kodak. So you can see what happened to them. Now, what happened to Kodak? Now, many of Kodak's key resources and capabilities became virtually useless with the change. You know, people use PCs instead of photo finishing labs. So these are something that happened. So you need to innovate. If a company does not involve itself in corporate entrepreneurship or strategic innovation and see far enough, you lose out of the market. So market dominance, you can see, market dominance is only a snapshot in time if you don't innovate. If you don't involve your business in corporate entrepreneurship, you may not survive. See the fall of Kodak and the rise of what? Google, Microsoft, Facebook. You can see them right here. Now, why new ventures set up by established businesses fail? We must also realize that, you see, not all the businesses that are set up by the so-called established businesses survive. Some also fail. And we must understand why they fail as we move on. Most times when established businesses want to set up new businesses at organizations, the managers people have built comfort, they are comfortable with what they are doing. So if you bring new projects, new ideas, they see them as diversion or distractions. I mean, that is a big problem. And now another major reason is because some firms, established businesses, warehouse new ventures in isolated divisions. So they are not doing it with the mind of progress. They have their doubts, so they put them in isolated division within the company. But when they begin to see progress and then want to bring them out to maybe high-performing divisions, there will be crisis between those who are innovation managers or innovation mavericks and then the division executives. So the power struggle will ensue. They go, I want to control it. Meanwhile, he does not understand the technology or the foundation of how this business come about. But everybody want to control what is making progress. So when you give it to those division executives that don't have the fundamental knowledge about it, what happens? The business will collapse. So those are some of the reasons why you have new ventures and established businesses fail. Number 3, they also lack hard data. Now, when innovation is on, no reference. You are coming up with cutting edge products. When Steve Jobs started Apple, it was a while before he came to the success level. He has to even leave. The company was struggling. They had to go back and bring him back. So when you come with new product, cutting edge technology, Macintosh at that time, you can see what happened. They were struggling. He was in India, came back, they had to go and bring him back to the market, So you can see that so you need to struggle at a point. Guesses, which they call this short scientific wild has guesses. So the lot of SWATs, so guesses happen in the market. No data. People are guessing. And new innovation requires fresh ideas. And fresh ideas require mavericks, smart individuals who think to new thinking. They are used to conventional thinking. And that's what I just showed you about Kodak. Kodak grows reluctance. General Motors and Ford and Ford's reluctance to embrace hybrid cars. Today, you have Tesla. And now Tesla is the richest man, it's just for blogs. So things come like that. Radical. So you require fresh ideas. There's also the poor fit between new business and old system. The way you think is going to be different from the way you think when 5 years ago. Things are changing. The budgeting for software, the human resources software. They favor, established businesses with all the forecasting models that you have there. So they inner resistance from line managers. A company called Denali is a US printing giant. Initially they wanted to go into digital printing, but there was a lot of resistance from the sales managers. It's because of the comfort zone. They feel that they are making money. They're already used to selling long-term. If they don't move out of the comfort zone, they will just lose their market share. Can mitigate new ventures failure. So if you're an established business, how do we stop our new ventures ideas to fail? Number one, narrow the playing field. Sometimes you can come with some crazy ideas. Company can come 1,000 ideas. Everybody's bringing ideas. How do you come with a strategy to reduce the range of choices? Okay, so that you can focus on few ideas and then push them in. Thousand ideas, and how do you narrow them down so that they now they view new businesses from this perspective. Now, the new business must take the company to a new territory. That means you don't, if we are doing a new business, if we are doing a startup, let it take us to a new line of business, region or country or customer base that you can prove, you can validate, and that it must also have the potential to generate at least $100 million in incremental sales in 3 years' time. You need to verify that. So they have criteria, so that you can use this criteria to establish that before you venture into that business. There's what we call strategic ambidexterity. Strategic ambidexterity. How do I prepare my organization for a different and uncertain future? Because what we are talking about, corporate entrepreneurship, we are talking about how do we, combine core business with what? New business. So it is called strategic ambidexterity. You must be multitasking to be able to establish that or make that to happen. Eating and dreaming. Jack Welch, was the GM, was one of the profound CEOs of the 20th century. He was talking about eating and dreaming, balancing the demand for quarterly results. In most of the banks, even in Nigeria, they have what we call management profitability report called MPR. So there's a pressure for quarterly results, half-year results. So he is saying balancing the demand for these quarterly results with the pressure for a profitable future is what good managers do for a living. And that is the truth. You must have to find a way, to begin to think regularly on how you can move your business forward. How do we make the profitability to increase incrementally? You have to eat and have to dream at the same time. Is it possible? You are dreaming, you are eating. So the marks of a leader is someone who has the rigor, vision, and courage to do both simultaneously. You must have the capacity to have the rigor, the vision, and courage. And that's what we're talking about. Now, strategic ambidexterity again. How do I maximize the performance of an organization today? How do we maximize it? We need to maximize it. And how do I also prepare my organization for a different and uncertain future? So that you will not be disrupted and you will not lose your market. Now, you have to do both. How do I combine these two ideas? Maximizing performance of an organization. And how do I prepare my organization for a different and uncertain future? Those two, how do you do that? And that's why we're to get new vendors to fail. You have to learn from new samples. It is pertinent to observe the ambiguous environment. And so some company, what you do is that is customer focused, outside-in mindset. Outside-in mindset. Like Procter & Gamble, former the CEO, A.G. Lafley, he made his employees to spend time in customers' homes, consumers' homes, because they make consumer products, soap, cooker and all that. So they go to customers' homes to watch the customers go cook and cleaning. And then see how these things work. The customers appreciate those things before they launch new products. Another company called Intuit, they produce tax preparation software. They go to the customer, they follow home to see how accountants and finance people use this software. If they have problems, they teach them how to use it so that they are familiar with it before they launch it. So you need to engage. That's what we call prototype. Then you talk about the prototypes. Try to make them to understand. Starbucks does the same thing on coffee. Nokia does that also. In Southeast Asia, they do quite a lot of things like that. You need to learn from small samples. Now, operate with something old and something new. Now, if companies can only build on their strength, it will be fantastic. They need to bring in something new, in addition to what they have as their strength. So you bring in both the old and the new, experience and invention. Bring in the combination, because if you are not careful, if you want to just depend on what you are starting with, without bringing in the experience that you have had in the industry and that business, plus the new thinking that you need to bring in from the new guys, the mavericks that you're bringing in, you may not probably be able to succeed. So you need to have a combination of both the old and the new if you want to be a company that want to stay for very long years to come. Then you must staff your new ventures with mature talks. In a company like GE, General Electric, and 3M, Minnesota Mining Company, mature talks called managers who are successful in running large businesses, but who also are willing to challenge their thinking, are the ones they put in charge of what? New ventures. So those guys that are mature talks, they have the combinations of running big businesses already or big departments. And also there are people who are thinking out of the box, must be identified. And those are the guys who put in place in charge of new ventures you are building inside established businesses. So these guys have what? They have high scores of entrepreneurship, innovativeness, and risk-taking. I mean, that is the basis for bringing them on board. Then you have to have change of veteran thinking. You have to think, everybody thinking. The mindset have to change. So you have to change the mind. Because if people, you don't pre-sell the ideas to your staff, to your employees about the need for this, they must buy into it. The buy-in must be very important. So smart companies, smart established businesses place divisional chiefs and group heads on the oversight committees on boards of promising startups. So they push divisional chiefs and group heads on oversight committees of to support them. Bill Gates, for instance, normally take the Microsoft senior team on weekend retreat. What is he trying to do? Is to change their thinking and to show them on new technologies that are coming up and the threats that are coming. They don't have a comfortable position if they don't move, to reinforce the message. And that's how they can do that. Then another thing is about developing capabilities. Develop some capabilities, but acquire others. You cannot get all the skills developed from scratch. You can buy some. So your ability to make or buy decision hinges on the availability of skills in the open market. Sometimes you may not be able to develop the skills from in, so you need to buy. UPS, for instance, buy a company called Livingstone in 2006, a Canadian logistic company that specialized in the unique documentation and technology system for delivery of healthcare products in the United States. So you need to find a way to companies that can advance the objectives. Sometimes you buy a company and then find a way to increase their capability, technological capability for more growth and more progress for your business. Then finally, you must have to establish criteria for hands-off. You must find a way that this new business we are building in our company, when will they allow them to stand on their own? So there must be criteria for you to allow them to be on their own, so that they can now run on their own as divisions. And some of these things have to be quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative in the sense that you can talk about revenue. Like I mentioned, GE, you see, within 3 years, you have to make $100 million. So that can be a way to find it. How do you do it? They remain within a big division, but they must have gotten some market share. It's okay, you must have market share in that industry, up to 10%. So those are targets that you need to set for them to be able to go on their own and begin to be established business that stand on their own. All right, so qualitative, talk about clarity of strategy, experience of leadership team, and competitive superiority. These are things that are also very important. Assign corporate and operating sponsors. Assign people who can be either line or staff executive to bring credibility and clout to new ventures, which can also be very helpful. So they can give enough mix of freedom and discipline to new business. For instance, a company in 2006 called Staples. They launched 10 prototype rural stores and then find a way to make sure that have two reporting lines. One, they report to a local district manager, and to the company vice president for strategic markets. Why are they doing this? Is because they want to make sure that two guys are dealing with this company to help them be strong so that the support will be there. Otherwise, if the right sponsorship and support is not there, this business can fail. All right. It is not the strongest of the species who survive, or not the most intelligent. But the ones most responsive to change. So if your business must survive, if your business must move to the next level, listen to what Charles Darwin is saying. You must be the most responsive to change. That means you must be ready to take some very difficult decisions, to engage yourself in new thinking and new ventures for you to make that kind of progress. Okay, this is just to show you how the process of strategic innovation happens. First of all, I have mentioned that, generate new ideas. You have to slim them down, because I mentioned that already. Generate new ideas, try to trim them down, narrow the playing field. Then when you narrow the playing field, you have to visualize it, build canvas around it to know what is happening in the market. Is anything relative to that business you want to do? This is just to make it concise for us to understand that this is the process. You generate ideas, you visualize, then what happens next? You go to the market, you implement these ideas. You address the issue of the barriers. You demonstrate the need for change. And then you communicate and learn and forget, and then you launch. And then after some time, regularly there is evaluation of the ideas. Okay, this is talking about what is required in terms of culture. We've mentioned that earlier: culture, people, structure, systems, and processes that are needed to make this happen. So the culture is that you need to have your people have questioning attitude. People should be able to question things and then reward success and failure, but punishes people who don't take any action. In organizations, people are afraid of taking action. Those are the ones you should punish. But anybody that even fail in an attempt should not be punished, should be rewarded. Tolerate mistakes. Support risk-taking. Support teamwork and collaboration. The structure has to be what? Fast and flat. Small units that encourages what? Collaboration. And then autonomous teams at the front line. Give them some level of independence to get the run. That's the structure. Processes, fast and unbureaucratic. And then the issue of even idea generation is very important. Experimentation and execution, very important. Those are the process. Systems. Support. People. Variety of people, both internal and external. We mentioned that already when you talk about tips on how to prevent new more. Target customers. You want to have more customers because the customers are the reason why your business is in place. If you don't have customers, you're out of it. Deliver these resources, these products and services to the customer in terms of value networks. Now, strategic innovation creates what we call profound uncertainty, because you see, a lot of people don't want to engage in it because of the risk of commitment. How do I put my money into something that I'm not sure of? How do I make research in an area I'm not too sure of? Those are things that make people to be afraid. So strategic innovation requires experimentation. You need to do experiment to be able to get to that level. All right, so there are challenges of strategic innovation because for established businesses, if you look at this thing, the vertical side is talking about entrepreneurship, drive, freedom, and flexibility. It doesn't exist in established businesses. Coordination and control is very high, and they have bureaucracies in place. So there are issues of control. There are issues of taking fast decisions. Startups is easy to make those decisions, but you won't have that in established businesses. So those are the challenges. So the ability to be able to have this mix, to be able to take these decisions in a way that you create possibility of taking quicker decisions is the challenges of established businesses to be able to make this work. What can be done? Strategic experiment. You must be focused on creating entrepreneurial opportunity. You must how do you position yourself for your market superiority? It's very, very for your organization. It's very, very important because you are focused on creating high growth potential for your business. So there must be a way to do this. I mentioned to you that a lot of companies are afraid of putting resources together because how do you align resources and incentives? Those who are taking the risk of this innovation, how do you compensate them? How do you bring in money to put in something that you are not sure whether it's going to work out? Those are some of the questions that are there. You need to deal with, but you must have to make it happen. Now, making innovation everybody's everyday business, everyday job. Innovation should be everyday job for everybody in the organization. So you make innovation a central topic in leadership development programs. Everybody must let them be hearing the word innovation. Okay. So make innovation a central topic in leadership development programs. Now you must set aside capital spending for innovative projects. Now train innovation mentors in your company. Those of them that will become mentors of innovation. They drive the process. Enroll every employee on courses on business innovation. Every employee. Install innovation lab, a room in the company business unit headquarters called innovation lab. People should go and tinker with ideas. Innovation become a large company of top management bonus plan. People who think out of the box, who could come with innovation ideas, should be given bonus. We're talking about how to make it work in the organization. Set them aside in business review meeting. Create an innovation board. An innovation board to ensure that they review and fast track promising ideas. Also build an innovation portal so that people can have access to innovation tools, data, and input their ideas. A portal that can make it work. Every company that is interested in innovation for corporate entrepreneurship should endeavor to do this. Develop a set of metrics to track inputs of innovation, throughputs, outputs of innovation. Now, what are the first steps? Now, like a company like Google, for instance, every employee spend 20% of their time on their own individual innovation projects that are beneficial to the company. 80% of their time for formal jobs. So take and allow time for creativity and slack. So it looks like even 3M, that's what they do. They allow their staff 20% of their time to think of ideas. So encourage and motivate people to pursue ideas. Resources should be used to start small scale experiments. Allow some money to try experiments. There should be a budget for that. Create and use diversity in knowledge, people and resources. Celebrate and ideas, experimentation, and unconditional thinking. Challenge all habits and ways of doing things. People must think out of the box. Now, the fundamental questions of strategy, we're talking about innovation strategy. The fundamental questions of strategy is how will we create value? How do we capture value? How do we deliver value? These are the 3 questions. Create value for yourself and for your customers. How do we capture value? You capture value when your company is making progress and the customers become loyal to you. You deliver value when there's demand. Very important. So these are the things that innovation strategy. How you create. All right, so we are moving. We're almost done. So I think let's quickly look at the 4 key steps to create an innovation strategy. You have a situation analysis. Okay, so there is already, most times, you already have an existing paradigm in the industry. So you look at what we call strategy canvas. As it is, that is what the industry is doing. How are they competing in that industry? How are they investing in the components of their products and their marketing? How are they competing? How are they investing? What are the most important things for them in that industry? You need to do those assessments. So what we call situation analysis. How you compare them with their peers in terms of resources, endowments, all that. Then you must have a guiding vision, which also do with to be strategic canvas. What do we need to do differently to be having our competitive advantage? To be the principles and the rationale, gaps and priorities. Then after you have done that, then you can do comparative, maybe 1 or 2 of those kind of to be, and then you compare it with what the market is. Then there's a rollout. Rollout means you're going to the market. That's how you can have a truly innovative company. Okay, innovation launch, investment that you have here. China company duplicate all those forms. So there are fake ones that people do cheaper. So that'll bring down your returns. So how So the ability to be able to deal with that is very important, because that is the next level of firm performance. For you to keep your head up the waters, you must be able to do that. All right, so these are what you are saying here is about. When you see those troughs up and down, is acting about when the business is coming. So that's what you see what happened with tech companies now. Every day they are doing what? Updates. Why are they doing updates? They are discovering new technology, new ways of improving their delivery, their way of delivering value to you. So they feel that way of delivering value to you, you are not what? Obsolete in terms of technology, which is very important. And that will give them more returns. And that's why you have iPhone 12, you have iPhone from iPhone 6 or iPhone 1 to now iPhone 12. What is happening? They are putting new features. They are delivering more value to their customers. So exploitation. Talk about awareness. I talk about motivation. You must have a motivation. I've talked about the awareness, which you have to make sure that everybody have outside-in mentality or mindset. Everybody in the organization must understand the reason why we are doing this. That is focused on the customers. That without customers, we are not in business. We must have motivation to make this happen. Rewards encourage us to do what we are doing in terms of encouraging those who are taking decisions to innovate. Whether they fail or they succeed, you are rewarding them. That motivates everybody. And then do your appraisal, ability. Do we have the capability? Do we have the resources to be able to make this happen? What can we leverage on? That's ability. These are necessary conditions for exploration. And then conception. You go to the market and deliver the value. All right, quickly, we're going to look at this, which is at the end of it. We are just looking at opportunities, growth and job opportunities that have come from corporate entrepreneurship. Just quickly look at this. There are companies, global companies, that have employed the idea of corporate entrepreneurship to achieve the highest impact business transformation within the last 10 years. They've been able to use this idea to prosper their business by employing innovation culture. Company like Amazon, look at Amazon, number one here, e-commerce. The core business is e-commerce, but they went into business called web service, Amazon Web Service. And at Amazon Web Service, the stock cumulative annual growth rate increased by 39% annually, and versus 10% for S&P stock markets, S&P 500. Microsoft, the same thing. Computer hardware and software moving to intelligent cloud services. Stock grew by 17%. Intuit, I mentioned that a tax preparation software company. Online ecosystem, bringing people together. Their stock increased by 22% annually. A new business that they venture into. These are established businesses that go into new businesses. Alibaba, China, e-commerce. They went to financial technology. There's a company called Ant, they just launched. They went to sports and entertainment. Stock increased by 8% annually. There's a company called Danish Oil and Natural Gas Denmark, oil and gas production in the North Sea. They went to offshore wind energy, and the stock cumulative annual growth rate increased by 30% annually. And Netflix, all of you know Netflix, distributing content digital, that was their job, but they now went to producing the original content. Their revenue tripled, profits multiplied by twofold. Stock cumulative annual growth rate increased by 57%. That's what happened to Netflix, because they moved from just distributing content to producing their own original content. AI Group in China, they're into insurance. They went to wellness company, and their stock increased by 15% annually. So these are examples of companies that have employed the concept of corporate entrepreneurship or strategic innovation, and their business have been transformed. Philips Electronics went to healthcare, the same experience. Tencent Holdings, internet opportunity. Ecolab, industrial cleaner and safety devices, went to water energy services. And they also have these results. So you can see the benefit. Give you what is required from the topic, and that can transform your businesses, give you a new thinking, outside in thinking, that will move you to the next level. So thank you very much.
Wow, that was very, very explosive, I must say. Thank you so very much, Dr. Silva. There are comments brimming from the social media handles, giving kudos to this quintessential lecture, I must say. However, there are a number of questions that we would love you to answer before you take a bow. First of all, for me, there is this paradigm. I call it a paradigm because I think there may need to be a shift in that direction. You talked and pitched your tent a lot on strategic entrepreneurship, as it were. So how do you marry it with people who have this mindset of delving into too many things, or the popular maxim of being, jack of all trades and master of none? What do you have to say to people like that? Because from what we learned this afternoon, there is a need to test new waters. However, there are guidelines which you clearly substantiated, but how do you manage the teeming populace who do not want to fall into this category and so seem to be very streamlined?
Your question, I'm not getting your question very well. Your voice, you are cutting, you are breaking. I'm not hearing you.
Oh. Okay, the questions will be posted now. I guess it's some network concerns. But in a nutshell, if you can hear me, Doc, the question is on striking a balance so that one is not found at the edge of being or being called a jack of all trade and master of none. This popular maxim oftentimes discourage people from testing new waters, and so they tend to remain on one spot. And when technology and innovation comes up, they just find themselves losing out entirely. What do you have to say to people like that?
I didn't hear you very well, but let me just say that what you are asking is that probably that's where you are going to. The point is this. Corporations and the business very beneficial to you if you can allow that. You jump into a new idea, putting the right hello, Dr. Asik. And that's what I've just been discussing on corporate entrepreneurship. We just discussed that extensively. You must have to work in an organization. You must have metrics, and that is in the note very extensively been answered. You have metric, qualitative and quantitative metrics. G, we say for the country. And then they say, oh, the most important thing to do is to have, every innovation mindset, build an innovation mindset, a culture that is focused on innovation. That is the only way you can have corporate entrepreneurship work in an organization. Of vision, they will be thinking that they are making progress, and therefore they don't need to move into new territories. So you need to begin to have that kind of new mindset. I can't see any other questions. I text that there are some questions.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
All right, I'm hearing.
Okay. I guess there are some network concerns. Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. There was some network concern here, and so I didn't quite get the question that was being handled. However, there's one here from Dr. Enang Patrick. Dr. Enang Patrick is saying, what academic reforms are required to prepare the future workforce for entrepreneurship, which is becoming a key enabler for succeeding in the 21st century?
What academic
reforms are required to prepare the future workforce?
The critical thing for us to get done, just like I said, the everyday job is that everybody, you know, that must be integrated into the daily affairs. What happens in Google, what happens in 3M, what happens in Microsoft is they make to spend time in fresh thinking, in innovative thinking. If that happens, people are challenged, because if your appraisal system is made in such a way that you are required to discuss the 20% of your time is a new challenge, you know, flexibility, but expected to deliver some very tangible results.
Okay, so do you think, sir, in your opinion, that there is a fundamental issue with our curriculum with respect to the inclination of the young people towards entrepreneurship? I think it's yeah, basically that's the question. Do you think there's a fundamental issue with the academic curriculum?
What you need to do is that, see, we don't have, like in this part of the country, in Lagos, they have Tech Park. The partnership with government in Lagos, and all. We don't have those in this certain part of the country, like especially in Port Harcourt and Co. There's no technology park. Young people need in the country in terms of technology is happening in Lagos. And innovation has to do with new thinking. fresh thinking. We need to have a technology park in this. Your technology park, what happened is that even some of these companies, the global companies, the tech companies, established businesses will come and partner with the government. And that will make a lot of difference. Between those technology parks, the established businesses and the investors.
Okay. Here is another. I think we have 2 more questions. What's the recommended roadmap for achieving strong participation from the key tripartite stakeholders required to actualize corporate entrepreneurship, the tertiary institution, the government, and the private sector?
Must ensure that there are parks. Even if the universities themselves need to have innovation labs. Universities themselves have to have innovation. The relationship between the investors and the industries. There must be a relationship. They must find a way to collaborate. And there's also innovation labs in universities that will bring students to begin to think and tune themselves what is happening in industry. Innovation labs in companies and innovation labs investing, collaborating will go a long way.
Okay, so in a nutshell, parks should be established by the government. The tertiary institution should also take up this concern of innovation really seriously by establishing a more organized structure, I guess, sir, if I understand you correctly. Hello, sir, can you hear me? Hello, sir, are you there? Hello, sir, are you there? I guess the network is not so friendly in this part of Port Harcourt. Okay.
Any other question?
One more question from OJMAT Services. What peculiarities typify Nigeria when it comes to actualizing corporate entrepreneurship compared to the rest of the world? And what are the enablers required?
What peculiarities typify Nigeria when it comes to actualizing corporate entrepreneurship compared to the rest of the world? And what are the enablers required? Specific innovation labs, very important. Because we must have innovation culture built into everybody.
Okay.
Don't take any actions are punished. So everybody know that if I think out of the box, if I contribute, innovation.
Okay, the question seems to be flooding, but I'm tempted, so if you don't mind, let's just take this one and just one more. And we'll call it a day. What are the imperatives required to maximize corporate entrepreneurship opportunities? Okay, I guess it's about the same question.
Yeah, the same thing. Right.
Structured in a different way. Okay, so in the absence of further questions, where is that? Pop it up. Sorry, just 1 minute. Where is that? Where? Yeah, okay. There was some network concerns while this was up. Yeah. Saka, okay. I know this question was there, but at the time we didn't quite hear you if you answered, and so we're not quite sure. From Dr. Asika Mojan from the University of Port Harcourt. How is corporate entrepreneurship implemented in developed economies like the US, Canada, and Europe? What lessons are there for Nigeria to learn?
I've mentioned that, the most important thing is that if you don't think out of the box, if you don't take corporate entrepreneurship seriously, you will go extinct. Your business will not survive. Technology is changing every day. And that's what they are doing, I mean, we mentioned about Apple that these corporate entrepreneurship and strategic innovation. And that's what they have been doing. So if we must move forward, then our companies, our corporations must create an innovation culture. Not just to remain with the core business, but so every Nigerian must invest enough resources in innovation. Give them time, provide resources, allocate resources.
Thank you so very much, sir. This has been really impactful, I must say. And your systematic way of answering all of these questions, I'm very sure that without doubt, this lecture this afternoon has added great value to all the participants, and they are indeed very, very grateful. On behalf of YIC Africa, I say a very big thank you to you. But before we let you go, the president and founder of the Young Engineers Entrepreneurship Club would want to especially say a very big thank you to you. President.
Wow, I will say that we are in Oxford already. We are in Nigeria, but we are all in Oxford. Let me thank the presenter, our guest today, what us today quite specifically, all the businessmen who have talked in this program, but all the other have learned a lot. Our intention as a relation to reach gap that has been lost by knowledge. Because if you have knowledge, you know how to go about it. We actually want to pick people off the streets. Business are not growing. Tell me how people, businessmen can employ some those are graduates are coming from school. The essence of this program has been achieved today. That real lecture taught us today. I believe that business will jump back to life. I believe that a lot of business will grow. I believe that a lot of organization will expand. So, Doctor, let me thank you again and again, and thank your organization for letting you be a part of this meeting. Ordinarily, we have a lot of engagements, but you said all of that to be part of this meeting. So, I want to say very big thank you, and then thank all the participants across Africa who are this program, who social media handles, the StreamYard, the Facebook, and all other network, Instagram. Let me thank you. Say that God bless you, continue to empower you, continue to strengthen you. Us, Big Africa, we have there working really hard to touch life, to change the narratives about Africa. We want to make sure that Africa is in the community of nations. So, we are grateful for having you. We want to use it also tell you, you can call me, also that we need to contribute the little we can to make Africa fair. Thank you. I want to thank the technical crew from both end to the end and my own end, and every other person who have found time giving their job, their tithes to ensure they are part of this meeting. Thank everyone. Thank you, and God bless
All right, thank you so much, the president of Young Engineers Entrepreneurship Club. Thank you once again, Dr. Silva Opalaja. Any parting comments, sir? Session, and I'm very positive that these has added significant value to the African continent. Thank you so very much for staying tuned. We're going to be here again tomorrow from 12 noon up to 2 p.m. for yet another session that is going to be very enticing, I must say. It's not one that you would want to miss for anything. Tomorrow, we'll be having a session with engineer Emeka Onachukwu, who is the founder and president of Develop You. I'd encourage each and every one of us to create time to be part of this event tomorrow. He'll be speaking on securing business grants and funding for entrepreneurship and business owners in Nigeria. You can be sure that you'll be hearing from one of the most experienced hands on the African continent. Once again, thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye for now.
Favor Esezobor, a graduate of economics and a postgraduate, that's an MSc graduate of development economics, all from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
How did you hear about Geek Africa?
Okay, I learned of Geek Africa from the president himself, who happened to be my leader, my mentor, my brother, long before now. So when he shared this vision with me, I was so excited about it because I realized I was a global vision and it was definitely going to stand the test of time. So I bought into it immediately and I registered with the platform. And honestly, it has been a wonderful experience because via this platform, I have learned what I didn't even learn in university, honestly. I'm really, really grateful and I'm happy to be a part of this project and initiative.
Young ones out there.
They have to plug into this opportunity. Honestly, we are canvassing, we are creating awareness as much as possible on social media, and we ensure that as many people that come across this program, they should key into it. So we are telling as many youth as possible to come and be a part of this, because the trainings we've undergone this period, we didn't pay for it. And these are trainings that you actually spend a whole lot of money, especially in the oil and gas. You spend a whole lot of fortune to acquire this training. So every young one out there with engineering background who have dreams of becoming an entrepreneur should come and key into this Geek Africa platform, because you will never know how far they will take you. Do you know that these trainings we've acquired, we're not just acquiring the training, they are even making plans as far as getting us employment. They are talking with organizations, and we're not paying for any of these. Honestly, every youth out there, if you hear of the name Geek Africa, please subscribe from wherever you are. You don't have to be present alone to be a part of what is going on. From wherever you are, you can actually participate virtually. You can decide to come to where the program is happening physically. So what I'm trying to say in summary is, from wherever you are, please key into this platform. It's a beautiful opportunity and experience you'll be glad you're a part of. Yes.
My name is Esosa Aresono Gloria.
And your academic background?
I'm a linguistics and communication student from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
So where are you and what brought you here?
Okay, I'm currently in Oyo Training Facility. I was brought here by Geek Africa for a training that has been very impactful. That's why I'm here.
And so how's your experience been?
Amazing, very beautiful. It's a very wonderful opportunity Geek Africa has given to us, young engineers and inspiring engineers. It's amazing. Words cannot express how much I feel right now. I am really, really overjoyed. I am amazed. I'm perplexed, let me put it that way.
So take us through your journey from when you heard and how you heard about Geek Africa and,
okay.
And up to now.
Okay. I've been a member of Geek Africa for like some months now, and they do an annual training for their young members. And this was a platform I was opportune to be a part of. I started as just a member, initiated into the process of being a young engineer by doing all the trainings that they're doing right now. It has been a wonderful platform. I started without knowing anything about HSC, without knowing anything about rigging and sligging, without knowing anything about Rustabout. But due to the training, I have been informed, exposed, and lightly educated about these processes. And I'm very informed right now. I think by now I am a certified HSC officer, I'm a certified Rustabouter, and I'm a certified rigger and a sligger. And put it that way.
So what's your advice to young people out there?
If you are an engineer and you're not here, you're missing out. You should be a part of Geek Africa. In fact, it's the mothership right now. The platform, Mr. Kingston and the entire Geek Africa crew has been giving to young engineers. It's amazing. I think the government even should adopt this pattern. It's a very beautiful platform that every individual should be a part of.
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Geek Africa. Thank you, Oyo Train. I'm very grateful.
They actually gave us courses, important courses or salient courses that are well sought for in the industry, a lot of experiences from very good courses.
So, what's your advice to young ones out there?
Well, young ones out there, I'd advise them, especially people who want to work in the oil and gas industry, they should just link up to EEC Africa because it is a very good opportunity for them. And also, they should be positive and they should keep on looking for opportunities like this. They should keep sticking out for opportunities like this that will help them and enhance their skills in the future.
My name is Alfred Baratwaikri from Bayelsa State, a graduate from Niger Delta University. I study agriculture and environmental engineering.
How did you hear about EEC Africa?
I heard about EEC Africa from my social media platform, Facebook to be precise, and I followed up immediately.
So what has been your experience so far?
My experience has been good. I've get to learn a lot about the oil and gas industry. I get to acquire some new skills that I've never